So welcome, Mahmoud. Would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, Susan. My name is Mahmoud Ghoz. I'm from Cairo, Egypt. I have been into professional field for more than 23 years. I work as an head of Agile practice in Vitskola and head of AI. I have been into this uh, mainly specializing in the AI for 1 year, 12 years in Agile practice, and I do executive coaching.
Well, that's a very unique space to be in. And I imagine you've seen quite a lot of opportunities where you could perhaps share a moment with us where you've seen a meaningful moment where human connection, AI, and coaching have come together in your practice.
Yes, actually, in last year, there is a meaningful moments for me that I noticed that a lot of people really start talking to AI. And this is not because they want answers, but they just need a safe space and to think and to be heard. And this is actually reflected for me like a deep human need for reflection and secure and psychological safety. And people are really seeking to talk without no judgment presence. I do believe in AI. I do believe, sorry, in coaching. The AI will really support this. It will support us, help uh, in surfacing the pattern, detecting the emotion, finding the blind spot. Yet, still, the human-to-human session will focus on the meaning, the choices, and the accountability.
Mm.
So, I can see that there's a lot of space for having coaching and integrate AI within the coaching space. Still, the coach will be responsible to hold the space. The technology will never replace the connection. It will only support in creating this safe space and trust.
Mm. And and some of the data or the blind spots that you've got to illuminate the conversation or that human connection.
Yes, definitely.
Hmm.
Definitely.
And as we experiment and learn with AI or bringing it into our practices, what are the principles that help keep us and AI human-centered, inclusive, and ethical?
Uh, for myself, I'm always guided by simplicity and transparency and intention. AI shouldn't amplify human judgment nor even override it. But for me, when I start to study about ethics, I find that the definition of ethics is not something that's universal. The cultural, the meanings, the context, and even people sometimes have different agreement around what is ethical and what is not, and really require like continuous dialogue to
Mm.
define what is ethical and what is not. And I can see that having even technologies, this is make things like a bit different.
Mm.
But for me, always ethics, it's to have like clear boundaries, to have the right privacy, the data, the biases. This is where we can protect our client.
Mm.
Inclusivity really matters to me, and AI must be like accessible for everyone. And if possible, it should be cultural aware. So having an agent running, for example, in Egypt, it should be different from an ethics perspective if it's run in the another area on the Middle East or even in the Western area,
Mm.
because ethics really differs.
Mm.
Sometimes we allow things in our country that you are not allowed, and vice versa.
Yes, yeah.
And things should be adaptable. And this is again where the human centered is important. Me as a human coaching another human within the AI can spot you are doing something against the ethics, for example, for ICF.
Mm.
Just take care, you are crossing your boundaries. This is the guardrails for ICF, and
Mhm.
that's why this definition is really important because it's still universal. Yet I have to comply to this, and I have to comply to our culture
Mm,
and to my client culture and my client boundaries of ethics as well. So it's like an intersection between all of these.
mm. I like the idea, especially if you're a coach that has a practice where you work globally, that we might be able to use AI to help us understand the guardrails for cultural sensitivity. That would be a very useful aid to the people that are working with lots of different cultures and different countries. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
If you could imagine one shift to positively shape the next chapter of coaching, what would it be?
Um, most of the, يعني, this is not being judgmental, but this is like an observation. But most of the, from what I see, from my point of view, but I'm not trying to generalize, but it's most of it is transactional coaching. So it is a tool-centric adoption. I would hope by using AI, we can make it more into wisdom-centric practice,
Hmm.
because the AI will make this kind of tools, accessible and easy, and even the agent themselves can support the client to fill what's required to be filled, and do the required guidance. But we all know it's not about the tool, it's not about what is written, it is really behind what is the intention and the motivation and the feelings for the client, and what is going around the client to fill this writing.
Hmm.
So I'm really hoping to move things from tool-centric adoption to wisdom-centric practice.
I love that. And again, I think the more when I think about the global coaching study in it this year, 53% of coaches said they weren't using any kind of digital platform. So I think we need to help our community adopt AI so that we can start that journey together towards wisdom centered. I like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Um, and then if you think about the future looking on the horizon, and you think about coaching, what stays the same about coaching and what changes?
The same, it will be the human connection for sure. Creating the human connection and holding the space by the coach. This is, for me, this is will never replaced. Yani, people talking a lot about replacing jobs, and that things will be obsolete, but the human connection, you can never replace human connection.
Mm,
This is this vibe, this energy, this kind of a feeling, it will never be replaced. This is from my own point of view. What will be replaced? For me, transactional coaching, the 360, the observation, this kind of coaching, I guess it can be replaced if I get an agent, train train them well to treat to read the report and find the gaps. I get this all kind of stuff. It's going to be replaced by AI. If,
mm,
if we if we're talking about the AI and the coaching and the spectrum of this,
mm,
all of this kind of industry, it it will be reshaped. It will not decay, but it will be reshaped and will be
mm,
changed.
mm,
And people were going to stop hire coaches to read the reports for them and find the blind spots to create their IDP
mm.
in
And but
in in the
then
corporate
mm. And
in the
then they
corporate.
need the help to interpret the contextual side of that in terms of
Yes.
what does that mean and what do I want to do as a consequence of seeing that? Yeah.
Exactly. And this is where the wisdom came.
Mm, yeah. And is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers before we close our fireside chat?
Uh, I'm very hopeful, and I can see that actually AI and people will understand more about coaching by talking to AI agents.
Mm,
When people start to see the essence and see the difference, because people really see, but the initial observation that I shared with you at the early beginning, it is like number one, people talking to AI agent just to share information.
mm.
So I guess people will start to realize that they have to do this with a human to go to the mean.
Yes, I think it creates awareness of people that have never heard of coaching, and so it hopefully it's piquing their curiosity, and then they search out, well, what is this coaching and how can I get a coach? Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
Fabulous. Well, I thank you so much for taking time today to share your perspective. It's been very illuminating, and I am very grateful for your time.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahmoud.